brotherhood, loyalty, and love collide in the final chapter of Young and Dangerous. Chicken steps into a new life of politics and power, marrying into the Japanese Yakuza to secure his future. But beneath the celebrations lurk betrayal, assassinations, and enemies hidden in plain sight. As alliances crumble and old wounds resurface, Hung Hing must rally one last time. What begins as a wedding soon spirals into war, where every choice could cost them their family, their honor, and their life. If that gave you chills, it's only the beginning. Smash that sub button, drop a like, and tell me in the comments, would you choose loyalty or love? Now let's dive in. The movie opens with Chan Ho Nam having nightmares about Smarty's brutal death and the violence he and his friends have endured. He jolts awake with tears in his eyes. Mei notices his distress and asks what's wrong, but he brushes it aside. At breakfast, Mei hints at marriage, expressing her wish to have a baby. Ho Nam remains indifferent. He is still haunted by Smarty's death and fears losing another loved one. Later that night, Ho Nam joins his friends at a pub. Chicken has recently become involved in Taiwanese politics alongside his cousin Ko Chi-hwa and has rejoined the San Luan Triad. To everyone's surprise, he announces that he is getting married. The group laughs at the news, given his notorious history with women. Chicken explains that the marriage has been arranged for political reasons. He is to wed Nanako Kusakari, the daughter of Japanese Yakuza boss Ichio Kusakari. Though unexpected, Ho Nam promises that members of the Hung Hing Triad will attend the wedding. The scene shifts to Japan. Ho Nam and Mei arrive for the wedding, driven by Akira Kusakari, the adoptive son of Ichio Kusakari. Soon after, other Hung Hing members arrive, including Tin Yung, Ben Hon, Sister 13, and Bao Pei. They are warmly received by Chai-hwa, who ushers them inside. During the ceremony, Chicken is required to recite his vows in Japanese. Since he cannot speak the language, he mispronounces the words badly, drawing chuckles from the guests. After the vows, he introduces his friends to Kam, a district leader of the Taiwanese San Luan Triad, and Louis Fu Quan, the son of San Luan's leader who has just returned from the United States. The wedding carries on joyfully, filled with laughter, conversations, and memories that will linger. Later, Ho Nam and Mei walk to the famous Rainbow Bridge, a spot known for its romantic stories. Mei acts romantically, but Ho Nam appears disconnected and unresponsive. His mind remains distant, weighed down by past fears, and even when she indirectly mentions that she wouldn't hesitate to say yes if he proposes, he says nothing. Later that night, Chi-hwa, Louis, and members of Hung Hing gather at a restaurant to celebrate. In high spirits, Chi-hwa sings a Hokkien song to honor the recent election victory of Chen Shui-bian as Taiwan's new president. The singing irritates a group of Chinese nationals, and tensions rise until one of them deliberately spills tea on him. A fight breaks out between both sides until Chicken and Akira arrive to break it up and restore order. The next day, Tin Yung meets with Ichio. Ichio praises Hung Hing's growing businesses across Asia and suggests forming a tripartite alliance between the Japanese Yamada Gang, the Taiwanese San Luan Triad, and the Hong Kong Hung Hing Triad. Tin Yung agrees it is a strong proposal but announces his plan to retire and return to Thailand. He formally hands over his authority and the leadership of Hung Hing to Ho Nam. Hearing this, Ichio considers retirement as well, believing the future of Triad affairs should belong to the younger generation. He then asks Chicken if he would be willing to oversee his businesses in Japan once he retires, and Chicken accepts. After the meeting, Ichio proposes a friendly kendo match to test Hung Hing's strength. Ho Nam accepts the challenge. At first, Ichio's skill overwhelms him, and Ho Nam is quickly disarmed. Refusing to concede, Ho Nam ties the sword to his hand and fights with greater determination. The duel ends in a draw, earning mutual respect between them. Back in Taiwan, the San Luan Triad holds a meeting to discuss new leadership. The elders try to appoint Louis, but he declines, admitting that his years in the US have left him unfamiliar with Taiwan and the ways of the Triad. Chi-hwa quickly recommends Chicken, praising his contributions and experience. But the others object, insisting that an outsider who isn't Taiwanese cannot lead them. Chi-hwa defends his choice, arguing that Chicken has more courage and capability than anyone else. Tension rises when a hot-headed member named Brave strongly opposes the idea, making Chiwa suspect he wants the position for himself. The two nearly fight before the others intervene. Meanwhile, Chicken returns home to his wife, slowly adjusting to his new married life and Japanese traditions. Despite the language barrier, they bond through smiles and gestures. After dinner, Nanako helps him wash his back, teaching him simple Japanese phrases. Their playful intimacy leads to a passionate night together. The mood shifts when Chicken receives an urgent call from Chiwa. Louis has been attacked and hospitalized, and rumors are spreading that Chicken orchestrated the hit due to his interest in leadership. Chiwa warns him not to show up, but Chicken insists that hiding will only make him look guilty. When they arrive at the hospital, San Luan members immediately attack Chicken, convinced he's behind the assassination attempt. Chiwa defends him fiercely, and the clash escalates until Calm breaks it off, announcing that Louis has asked to see Chicken. In Louis's ward, Chicken swears he had nothing to do with the attack. Louis believes him, but Brave mocks the defense and warns Louis to stay cautious. Louis, however, trusts Chicken and promises to investigate further. He urges everyone to stop fighting, fearing internal strife will weaken them against rivals. Despite the tension, Chicken joins Chiwa and Calm to represent San Luan at a meeting with an old Taiwanese mafia boss. There, they encounter Dragon, the leader of the Black Dragon Gang, who taunts Chicken about trying to make a name for himself. Calmly, Chicken fires back, reminding Dragon that he once served as Louis' errand boy, a remark that cuts deep. The mafia boss soon arrives, ending the banter. At the meeting, the mafia boss suggests that all the Triads in Taiwan cooperate with the government and accept pacification. Later, Chicken privately meets with Brave to hear his opinion. Though still distrustful, Brave argues that politicians can't be trusted and that surrendering their power would gain them nothing. Surprisingly, their conversation ends on a rare, friendly note. Chicken leaves and meets up with Chiwa. Just then, Nanako calls to ask if he'll be home for dinner. Struggling with English, Chicken tries to explain that he won't make it, but his broken phrasing comes out so awkwardly that Chiwa bursts into laughter. However, neither of them realizes how dark the night is about to turn. To unwind, they head to a karaoke lounge where they're surrounded by girls who flirt and dance around them. The carefree atmosphere shatters when one girl, giving Chicken a lap dance, suddenly pulls out a knife. Chicken reacts in time, shoving her off before the blade lands. He and Chiwa immediately flee from the lounge as thugs chase after them. They sprint through the streets, believing they've shaken their pursuers, only to be ambushed by a much larger mob of gangsters. Outnumbered, they fight back desperately, but the swarm is overwhelming. In a selfless act, Chiwa holds off the attackers to give Chicken a chance to escape. He takes a crushing blow to the head, and though Chicken tries to fight through the mob to save him, it's too late. Helpless, he watches his brother being beaten to death. Just as Chicken is about to be overrun, Chiwa's right-hand man screeches into the scene with a car, pulling him to safety. Chicken breaks down in tears as they escape the horrific scene. Moments later, Louis' friend, Michael, appears at the scene. Cold and ruthless, he delivers the finishing blow to Chiwa before making a call to confirm that one man is dead and the other has fled. But in a shocking twist, Chiwa summons the last of his strength, rises and stabs Michael, calling him a traitor, before collapsing for good. Meanwhile, at Chicken's home, Akira arrives drunk. Nanako receives him kindly, confused as to why he has come so late. Akira claims he misses her, then shockingly confesses he's in love with her, lamenting that their father never let them be together. Stunned, Nanako reminds him firmly that she is married. Akira snaps back, insisting he should have been the one to wed her. His emotions boil over as he forcefully grabs her, and in a moment of violent betrayal, he assaults her. The next morning, Chicken, still hollowed by two devastating events from the previous night, tries to be strong for Nanako, who remains shaken by the assault. He comforts her quietly, the weight of their pain shared in silence. Soon after, his close friends Honam, Bao Pei, and Big Head arrive in Taiwan to console him and offer their support. Chicken shares the turmoil he has endured, and they promise to stand by him no matter what. Their presence is a lifeline, bringing him much-needed strength in his darkest hour. Later, Ho Nam waits at a restaurant for Mei. She eventually arrives, apologizing for making him wait and gifts him a wristwatch. Still upset at her for making him wait for too long, Ho Nam hands it back, saying she needs it more since she struggles with time. Offended, Mei hurls the watch back at him and storms off in anger. As soon as she leaves, Ho Nam notices a young woman who looks strikingly like Smarty. Captivated, he follows her through the streets, even boarding a bus to trail her to her workplace, a kindergarten where she teaches. Fascinated, he watches her from afar until she approaches him, wary of his staring. Ho Nam apologizes, explaining that she resembles someone he once knew dearly. Hearing his Cantonese, she tells him she understands. It's her native tongue, though she grew up in Taiwan. She introduces herself as Tuan Mu Ruo Yu. Drawn to her, Ho Nam asks if they can be friends. She agrees. At the safe house, Chicken's men spot several cars approaching and prepare for an ambush. But instead of enemies, it's Ichio and his men. Chicken is relieved to see him, though shocked to find him now confined to a wheelchair. Ichio immediately asks for Nanako. He comforts her, apologizes for what she went through, and takes full responsibility for her suffering. Turning to Chicken, Ichio reveals the truth. Akira has betrayed the Yakuza, secretly selling information to the police. Worse, he's the one who crippled Ichio. The pain in his voice is clear. His adoptive son, whom he loved like his own, has turned against him. Chicken apologizes for failing to protect Nanako and swears that he'll kill Akira with his own hands. Meanwhile, at the hotel, tension brews between Ho Nam and Mei. Angry over his sudden disappearance, Mei presses him for answers, but Ho Nam brushes her off. Convinced he was with another woman, she pushes harder. Ho Nam snaps back that even if they were married, he'd still deserve his privacy. Hurt by his words, Mei storms off. Elsewhere, Louis is discharged from the hospital. Com updates him on recent events, suggesting that Brave may have been behind the attack on Chicken, but Louis seems disinterested and instead orders Cam to track down Chicken. Later, Louis meets Ho Nam and other San Luan members. He sends a message through Ho Nam. Chicken should stop hiding, as San Luan will back him. He even suggests the Black Dragon Gang could be behind the attacks. Louis then makes a decisive announcement. He wants Brave to be the new chief, a move he believes will stabilize the gang. Ho Nam supports the decision. Tragically, Brave is assassinated just moments after Louis names him as the next chief of San Luan. Ho Nam meets with Ruo Yu, showing her a photo of Smarty. She teases him, joking about the uncanny resemblance and asking if they were twins. From a distance, Mei painfully watches the exchange. At Brave's funeral the following day, Hung Hing members find themselves surrounded by San Luan. Com accuses them of being involved in Brave's death, but Louis silences him, promising to find the real killer and extending respect to the visitors. The atmosphere shifts when Chicken and Big Head arrive, sparking hostility. San Luan members immediately attack, forcing Ho Nam to fire warning shots into the air to stop the chaos. At that moment, Ichio enters with his men. He declares that until there's proof, Chicken's fate belongs to him. If Chicken is guilty, he'll kill him with his own hands. But until then, no one is allowed to lay a hand on him. Ho Nam stands beside Ichio, reinforcing the warning. With that, Chicken is finally allowed to pay his respects to Brave. Later, Ho Nam meets Ruo Yu again. She reveals she's about to get married and insists she isn't Smarty, not wanting to compromise her marriage for a fairy tale. When she tries to walk away, Ho Nam grabs her and hugs her tightly, even leaning in for a kiss. She turns away and leaves him standing there. Chiwa's man, informed by one of Louis' gangsters, reveals the shocking truth. Louis and Akira are working together. Louis has been behind all the recent assassinations, including the attack that killed Chiwa. Now, he has declared his ambition to lead the San Luan gang, believing himself the most suitable choice. He also plans to reach an agreement with the government to merge all triads in Taiwan under his command. Any gang that refuses will be wiped out. Chicken realizes that Louis' earlier refusal to take San Luan's leadership was just an act, a ploy to eliminate rivals. Behind his calm facade, Louis is desperate and power-hungry. Chicken and the Hung Hing members gather to discuss how to counter Louis' growing influence. Since he may be backed by the new government, attacking him head-on would raise eyebrows. Instead, they decide to outwit him. On the day of Chen Shui-bian's inauguration, Louis takes the stage and delivers a speech outlining his vision of uniting all the gangs under one umbrella, with Akira as unit head. He also publicly brands Chicken a traitor and declares his expulsion. But moments later, Chicken and the Hung Hing members storm the arena. Brave's right-hand man steps forward and accuses Louis of treachery, murdering Brave and others in his rise to power. Louis maintains a diplomatic front and denies it, but Bao Pei corners Kam and proves to him that they have indeed captured his wife and kids, forcing him to confess the truth. Kam admits that Louis orchestrated everything, even staging the attack on himself. Louis continues to deny it, but the final blow comes when a government official reveals that he personally negotiated with the government on Louis' behalf. The deal was rejected because Louis' demands were selfish, harsh, and unreasonable. Exposed and cornered, Louis fires a shot into the air, then makes his escape with Akira fleeing alongside him. Akira doesn't get far. He runs straight into Ichio and the Hung Hing members. He falls to the ground and begs for mercy. Ichio scorns him, and they offer Akira a blade to end his own life. But instead of complying, he suddenly turns the blade on Ichio. Ichio swiftly knocks it away, and Chicken seizes it and stabs Akira. Meanwhile, Honam pursues Louis. Their cars collide head-on, but both emerge unharmed and continue their fight on top of the vehicles. Honam quickly gains the upper hand, but Louis pulls a pistol on him. Honam doesn't flinch and steps closer, just as the police arrive, surrounding Louis and placing him under arrest. The story closes with Ichio thanking the Taiwanese official for his assistance, and in a final twist, he reveals that he could speak Mandarin fluently. Chicken and his Hung Hing brothers walk out, happy, triumphant, and grateful that justice was served. And that's how the final war of loyalty and betrayal came crashing down. If you're still here, you're officially Hung Hing family. So smash that sub, drop your Team Honam or Team Chicken in the comments, and don't ghost me like Smarty did. More gangland chaos